amplified. Vice President Shettima opens up on accusation on plotting to kill Tinubu to become president. Outside Nigeria, China's President Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin hold talks in Beijing. And in sport, Arsenal fans in Nigeria celebrate first EPL trophy in 22 years. Those are our top stories. Details coming up in just a moment. First, on the news, the United Nations says it is concerned about recurrent terrorist attacks on schools in Nigeria. UN spokesperson Staffan Dujarric stated this after coordinated attacks on multiple schools in the country. Armed groups attacked schools in Oyo State over the weekend, during which dozens of school children and their teachers were reportedly abducted. 2 teachers were also reportedly killed by the suspected terrorist groups. Dujarric also said the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres was concerned about terrorist activities in parts of Nigeria following the recent joint US-Nigerian military strikes on ISIS targets in the country. The UN spokesperson said the UN system in Nigeria has been providing support to strengthen the protection of schools from recurring attacks. They said the UN country team in Nigeria in all its components has been working with the Nigerian government in the impacted region. This, Dujarric said, is to find ways that the UN can support, strengthen and help make schools more safe for students, while vowing that the world body will be continuing to work in that vein. Meanwhile, Nigeria and the United States said on Tuesday that joint airstrikes had killed 175 Islamic State fighters in the country's northeast. This is the 3rd strike in few days. In a statement signed by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Sumaila Uba, it said the operations inflicted what it described as a devastating blow on terrorist networks operating within the region, with several strategic targets destroyed during the offensive. An AFRICOM spokesman confirmed the toll of 175 among the jihadists. AFRICOM Commander General Dagvin Anderson told a congressional hearing in Washington that Nigeria had been instrumental throughout the last several months, developing the targets, helping with intelligence and providing support. US and Nigerian forces killed Abu Bilal al-Minuki, an ISIS leader described as the most active terrorist in the world, at a remote village in the northeast last weekend. As Director of Global Operations for IS, the slain al-Minuki provided strategic guidance on media and financial operations and the development and manufacturing of weapons, explosives and drones, according to the Nigerian military and the US Africa Command, AFRICOM. After the announcement of al-Minuki's death, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu thanked his US counterpart Donald Trump for his leadership and unwavering support. He said he looked forward to more decisive strikes against all terrorist enclaves across the nation. According to Tuesday's military statement, the operations in the last few days have killed other key IS fighters. They include Abdal Wahab, said to be a senior leader of ISWAP, responsible for coordinating attacks and distributing propaganda. Abu Musa al-Mangawi was said to be a high-ranking ISWAP member, while Abu al-Mathana al-Muhajir was a senior media production team manager and close confidant of al-Minuki. And now from insecurity, we'll go to politics, where ahead of Thursday's governorship primaries of the All Progressive Congress APC, resistance to consensus arrangement has intensified in at least 10 states, as several aspirants rejected pressure to step down and insisted on testing their popularity at the polls. The growing pushback comes despite efforts by party leaders and governors in many states to streamline the primaries through endorsements, negotiations, and consensus agreements aimed at avoiding divisive contest ahead of the 2027 general elections. While incumbent governors in several APC-controlled states have successfully secured consensus backing for second-term tickets, secession battles in states such as Kwara, Gombe, Oyo, Adamawa, Bauchi, Plateau, Lagos, Nasarawa, Rivers, and Yobe remains fiercely contested. Despite growing internal resistance in some chapters, no fewer than 11 governors and sole aspirants have already secured overwhelming backing from party structures. Among those who emerged as consensus candidates are governors Sharif Oborevori from Delta, Abba Yusuf from Kano, Peter Mba Enugu, Umar Namadi from Jigawa, Diko Rada from Katsina, Nasir Idris, Kebbi, Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto, Dauda Lawal from Zamfara, Mohammed Umar Bago from Niger, Umoino from Akwa Ibom, and Ogbona Ngwefuru from Ebonyi. Party leaders in these states described the arrangement as strategic moves to preserve internal stability and avoid unnecessary factional crises. In Sokoto, party stalwart Abubakar Umar said members had unanimously resolved to back Governor Ahmed Aliyu for a second term. Similarly, a Kebbi APC chieftain Abdullahi Zuru confirmed that Governor Nasiru Idris had secured the backing of party stakeholders across the state. In Jigawa, the state APC chairman M.K. Garba said the party had settled for Governor Umar Nemadi as its sole governorship aspirant. However, consensus efforts have suffered major setbacks in Kwara State, where 15 aspirants are preparing to confront Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak's preferred candidate, Ambassador Yahaya Seriki. Meanwhile, the National Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress APC has disqualified dozens of aspirants linked to Rivers State Governor Similai Fubara from contesting the party's 2027 House of Assembly primaries. A screening list released by the party showed that more than 60 aspirants were not cleared across various constituencies in Rivers State, marking a sweeping setback for Fubara's political camp within the party structure. Many of those affected are widely believed to be loyalists of the governor, reflecting the deepening internal tensions within Rivers APC ahead of the primaries. The disqualifications cut across constituencies including Okrika, Kana, Omuma, Awada East, Obiakbo, Ikwere, Andoni, and Kukutore, indicating a broad impact across the state. In contrast, 33 aspirants were cleared to proceed to the primaries, with reports suggesting that several of those approved are aligned with the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike. The development follows earlier exclusions of Fubara-aligned aspirants from the party's Senate and House of Representatives primaries in Rivers State, further escalating the ongoing power struggle within the APC in the state. Vice President Kashim Shettima has revealed that some individuals from his home state of Borno once accused him of plotting to assassinate President Bola Tinubu through traditional outfit he gifted to him during the 2023 election campaign. Shettima said the allegation surfaced barely 3 months after Tinubu assumed office, when some people reportedly visited the president and urged him to stop wearing the Borno-style clothes and caps that the vice president had given him. The vice president disclosed this in Abuja while speaking at a public presentation of the autobiography of former head of state Yakubu Gowon titled My Life of Duty and Allegiance. Representing Tinubu at the event, Shettima used the anecdote to illustrate what he described as the growing culture of suspicion in Nigeria's political space. The vice president further said that after he returned from China, where he had represented the president at the Belt and Road Initiative Forum, Tinubu reportedly summoned him and relayed the startling accusation. Take a listen.
Relationships, and it ought not to be. We are essentially one people tied to a common destiny. And lastly, permit me to pay tribute to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on a similar episode. When we were campaigning for him to emerge as the aspirant of the APC, we were going around the north. You know, we the people of Borno, unlike the Sokoto people, we are the best dressed northerners. So, you know, so I got some Wagambali materials and caps for him to blend with the northern crowd. So and it fitted him very well. So his aides were saying, please produce more. It fitted him. Barely 3 months when we were sworn into office, some of my people from Borno came to him and said, please stop wearing those Shetima clothes. He must have charmed them, and you are going to die, and he will become the president. Just barely 3 months, and to the eternal credit of the president, when I came back from China, where I represented him at the Bells and Roads Initiative conference, he said, sit down. Your people came to me and said, I should stop wearing those dresses you gave me. But he said their story did not add up, because when you gave me those dresses, I was an aspirant. I wasn't the candidate. Neither were you the vice presidential candidate. For 1 week, to prove to them that he is not pettish, he wore those dresses. These are some of the gimmicks that is taking place in power cycles in Nigeria nowadays. I want to thank you. Baba, Mona Alpari Dake, we are very, very proud of you. Keep on building bridges, and may you live long. May we witness your 100th birthday and 120th birthday celebration. Long live the Republic of Nigeria. Long live faith.
You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll go straight to our analysis segment. So we'll have Peter Anosike. He's a current affairs analyst. He's an academic doctor with PhD on consulting and profit management from Brenner University in the state of Delaware, United States. He's the author of the book Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Dr. Anosike, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's go to the first story on our news item, which is United Nations speaking out about the terrorist attack in Nigeria. We know this is garnering international attention, but so far it's been only the U.S., that is doing something about it, despite all the criticism, of the U.S., the mistrust and the criticism of Donald Trump, and the mistrust and past antecedents when it comes to U.S. Some will say at least they are doing something. Would you say the United Nations speaking out means it's going to be a general fight, in the larger world? Because Nigeria is obviously not the only country, beset by, insecurity, terrorists, Islamic jihadism and, propaganda and stuff like that. It is a world problem. The Middle East, countries in the Middle East are also battling the same thing, and from there it has spread far and wide here to the Sahel region.
The issue is United Nations don't have soldiers. Understand? We know of NATO, but United Nations don't have soldiers. So their own is just to talk. Then they don't even have a power of enforcement. But the issue is this is a problem, a general problem that's affecting everybody with conscience, children, the future of tomorrow. So United Nations is not supposed to keep quiet. I have not even heard AU talk about it, the African Union. I've not heard AU, which is nearer to us than the
United Nations.
United Nations. Understand? They have not talked about it. The AU president, who is currently the president of Angola, has not condemned what is happening in Nigeria. So it's to attend Israel.
As far as Africa is concerned, right?
Because we are even occupied with our own problems. No African country is not going through one challenge or the other. And
True.
you have to remove the fire on your palm before you can remove that in another person's. So that's what's happening in Africa. Then a lot of people have been asking 200 soldiers in Nigeria, what are they doing? What are they doing? We have now seen what they are doing.
True.
You shouldn't see, they're not supposed to be carrying gun in Zamfara or in Katsina. They are to
Well, we already knew they were here for intelligence gathering. They're not exactly foot soldiers.
So what they are doing is now yielding fruits. Because we never know that the second in command of
insurgents have a way of bearing multiple names. So you can have like 2-3 high-ranking terrorists having exactly the same pseudonyms.
Abubakar Shakau. Understand? Who they killed several times. Until when he was killed, have we heard another person answering that name? So for me, America is doing a good work in Nigeria, and they need to do more. Focusing on school and children is sending a very dangerous signal. One, the number of out-of-school children is increasing basically because of this fear. Somebody can tell you, Mommy, I don't want to go to school, they will abduct me. And the mother, understand, will say that it is true, that she doesn't want her children to be abducted. Instead, let them stay in the house. And this is also one of the ways that these terrorist organizations do. They always like that to build a shield with women and children so that you cannot attack them. When you hear that or that they have 20 women, 20 children, you see that attacking them will cause collateral damage. So this is one of the reasons they focus on women and children. So for me, there should be more intelligence gathering. There should be that's all hands should be on deck. And in Nigeria, we don't have a border patrol, which is a very big problem, because Kwara and Oyo has a boundary, and between Gambari, Obomosho, Gambari, that you enter Kwara State. So once something is hitting Kwara and there's no border patrol, they can be coming to Oyo from there operating in Kwara, or being in Kwara and operating in Oyo. So, and before, 10 years ago, this insecurity was majorly in the northeast, but today it has spread all over the country. Last time, about 2 months ago, United States issued a traveling alert listing 23 states in the country. I said that I'm not happy that with this 23, because no state in the southwest was mentioned.
Despite terrorist attacking on those states.
On those states, understand me? So I said it then, no, this is not enough. But now you can see it has increased from Ondo to Ekiti and to Oyo. And these are neighboring states. Because there's no border patrol. You can just go from one community to the other
without one state to another
asking you anything.
Now, this is the third strike that has happened the last couple of days, starting
within
from
a week.
within a few days, starting from a Friday night, which the U.S. President Donald Trump announced on his Truth social account, after which the federal government and the Nigerian army followed suit, confirming the attack. And then another one happened on Saturday night, where the announcement flooded in.
Yes.
On Sunday, and now this is the third strike. Now, where a lot of this criticism have been coming from was the space at which the first strike and the second strike happened. The first strike happened in December last year, and it took like
December 25th.
Yeah, took like 4 or 5 months, and between that time, insecurity escalated, which is an alarming thing to say, considering the insecurity situation was already escalated before that strike. It went up a notch. And it looks like between that time, the terrorist organizations, the cells and all their groups became emboldened. Now, but with these, successive strikes in the last couple of days, it is expected that more pressure will be mounted on these terrorists. There will be no much time for them to regroup and no time for them to show any form of boldness.
But we should also be mindful of the fact that they will be running away from those states where these strikes are going on to the other states.
The other state that is supposedly peaceful.
Yeah, so that's why I'm talking about border patrol. They should be checking the movement of people from one state to the other. Why are they understanding? They should be checking movements of people because
but that would be difficult to do, because it's almost like as if you're restricting Nigerians from migrating to other states. I mean, these people have their NIN. Thanks to how the NIN is done, anybody, whether Nigerian citizens or not, can obtain NIN. Registration and card freely.
A lot of people using NIN are not Nigerians.
Yes. Yeah. So, and how do you check if these people are Nigerians or not? That would be a very difficult task to do.
Police are checking vehicles.
You mean those tinted vehicles where it's easy for them to collect money from?
There's one thing, and then from Northern Sanene. When Northern Sanene, I don't know if you were of age when Anene was up.
Oh, I know. I was of age. Okay. I was of age.
Congrats.
I was of age.
Okay. So
he was the most notorious armed robber at that time from then Bendel.
Edo State.
Yeah.
Anene,
that was before it became Edo State. It was old Bendel State.
And that's Northern Sanene, Mondo, Sumbo, and DSP Iyamu.
Yes.
Understand? So, that was when your countryman was the Inspector General of Police.
What do you mean, my countryman?
Okay, that's how Americans say it sometimes. So, then Northern Sanene was saying why policemen were searching cars, exotic cars for them, that they used to use trainers, go to Kaduna, go to Kanu, and come back. They will be on top of trainers like headers. They will pass while policemen are looking for them inside the
exotic cars.
Then the running car then was Santana. Understand me? The running car then was Santana. So they were searching for them inside the exotic car without knowing that they are using trainers and so on and so forth. So from there, I learned something. Understand? So these policemen should at least be interrogating travelers. Where are you going? Understand? Why are you leaving your
state or your community? Understand
me? So it is important. Even if 9 can go free and you catch 1, it's okay.
Okay, now, so the hope is that these strikes will continue.
It will put pressure on them.
Of course, obviously, that will be the idea.
And another thing that let they not know actually what is happening. Understand? Let they not know actually what is happening. Let them not begin that to have this conception that these guys are killing their people.
I mean, that's already the conception among some of them. A very weird thing to think.
But remember,
it started with high-ranking political office holders saying these people are our brothers.
In 2014, that the attack on Boko Haram is a attack on the north. That Jonathan wants to use fight against Boko Haram to reduce the voting population in the north. So let them know that it is bad guys that are being killed. Understand? Not good people. So somebody should let them know it. Let them not begin to read the political undertones in this. This is happening. That is a good will. It's good that it is happening. Understand? These guys, now imagine those children that are in the forest now. Understand? It is going to affect their psychology even in the next 20 years. If they stay on their own, their mind will run back to when they were in the bush. That's if they are able to come out alive.
This latest strike, this third one in few days, the confirmed toll is 175. Among them are high ranking members of ISWAP, responsible for coordinating attacks and disputing propaganda. The other one is senior media production team manager and close. Look at sophistication. Just look at the coordination. Look at the hierarchy, well organized. That's a very difficult thing to fight against Nigerian army that are having internal problems of their own.
So, this simply shows it's not what Nigeria can handle that's on its own. We need the outside help, and I'm happy that America is assisting at this point.
Okay, let's go to party politics now. This is a political season, and it's getting hotter and hotter as far as politics is concerned. And a lot of things have been unraveling in the All Progressives Congress, APC, that's the ruling party. For months now, it's been the opposition political parties that have been having problems with allegations that it is instigated by the President Bola Tinubu and the APC. Well, some are saying the president has been so much involved in opposition political parties that he has taken his eyes off his own house. So a lot have been unraveling. The popular saying that ADC will bleed. Apparently it is looking like APC is the one bleeding. The primaries that has happened the last couple of days have caused a whole lot of problems, and some states are fighting this consensus arrangement. The governorship, primaries is not different. Governorship aspirants are shunning consensus deals, and this latest fight has been going on in 10 different states. What's your take on that?
Well, mind you, concession is imposition. That's what concession means. It's not that people, all of them agree, let us support it. No. It is somebody at the top say, I want this person. Just like what happened in Lagos State. They saw the body movement of the president, and all of them begin to adhere to his body movement. So concession is just a decision of one man. Understand? And which is not a democracy. But the issue is this: APC has been discriminatory in this their consensus. Why do you give some governors and allow other governors that to go on primary? Understand? As what is happening in Rivers, in Kwara and other states. Understand? But I know that the APC Governors Forum are fighting strongly that all their governors should be returned, which Nyesom Wike is standing against. Somebody in another party taking decision
PDP.
for another party. Understand?
This is such a mess.
Understand? Somebody in another party taking decisions for another party. So this shows you that I said this is and that's an era of impunity in the country, because we've not seen this before.
I mean, I don't think I've seen that anywhere else in the world.
Okay. Now imagine this. Hope Uzodinma, his tenure as a governor will end 2028, but he has been cleared to contest for governor in 2027 and to contest for Senate in January 2027. His tenure as a governor will end 2028.
That means if he wins the Senate aspirant, what happens to the governorship? Maybe the deputy governor takes over.
Well, I don't know how it's going to work, because his deputy, a woman, resigned about 3 months ago or 2 months ago.
Well, he has another deputy now.
So for me, will he continue to be there until his governorship ends? Because he will not want to leave governorship for another person. Understand? It's a more lucrative. He will still be passing budget. Understand? So for me, what is happening in APC?
I mean, this is
I've not seen it anywhere.
This is becoming such a mess. But before we dig deeper, similar life for Bara, the River State governor, his political troubles continues unabated. This time, over 60 of his allies have been disqualified, by the APC in the River State. This is coming after, was it a few weeks ago, where about 32, if I'm not mistaken, of his allies were screened out of the State House of Assembly.
Even if it's allowed that to contest and win, one Wike's own men constitute the bulk
of his cabinet members and the House of Assembly members.
The House of Assembly, they can still impeach him.
Yes.
Understand? They can still
which means he has to be answerable to Wike 100%.
Understand me?
Else, that is. But he's been screened out. He's been screened out, actually. The governorship primaries, that's what the story says.
He has been cleared to contest.
Has he?
Sure. Fobra has been cleared to contest. Kingsley Chinda had been cleared. So they are going for primary in Rivers, not concessions. And that's what I hope Uzodinma and the other APC governors are fighting. That what was given to the Delta State governor should be, the condition of the Delta State governor should also be given to Fobra. And because both of them are members of the APC Governors Forum.
Now, this turmoil looks like, from the way this may likely continue till the election, because as it is now, it's too late for a lot of them to defect, which means we may see some anti-party party activities during the elections. They disgruntled APC members that are still there, that are stuck, that can't go anywhere. No way forward in the sense of political ambition. No way out. That's
the hole that they dug for one man, and all of them are now falling into it. It was that amendment of the Constitution,
the Electoral Act.
Yes, now that defected from one party to the other after registration of members have been submitted. It is now hooked one of them. The senator representing Kogi East will have jumped to another party to pick his ticket, but for now, he told the governor the bottom line has been drawn, but it has to be in the party.
Now, this would have been good news for the opposition political parties, but alas, they are even in worse situation than the ruling party.
It's only ADC that is in worse situation.
PDP is still in terrible situation. Labour Party is still in terrible situation. And I mean, they are part of the opposition parties. And the NDC is a fresh party, which the jury is still out on them, even despite the defection of Peter Obi to the party. So the the opposition political parties
The
are not
most
even
peaceful-
faring any
the most
better
peaceful
for them
party
to take advantage of what's going
the
on in
most
APC.
the most peaceful party now is NDC.
Peaceful or quiet, but it depends on
most peaceful.
depends on how you
That's
look,
where you
look
can
at
go
it.
and sleep with 2 eyes closed.
Well, there's no much activities going on there. I mean, Peter
No.
Obi just defected to the party, few days ago. They are still trying to find their feet, so there's no
They
much
have
activities
found-
going on
Nigeria-
there.
Nigerians has helped them to find their feet.
Okay.
We saw what happened in Abakaliki. We saw what happened 3 days ago in Kano State. So Nigerians has helped them to find their feet.
Okay, let's go back to Vice President Kashim Shettima, where he made the revelation that some individuals from his home state of Borno once accused him of plotting to assassinate President Bola Tinubu through traditional outfit he gifted to him during the 2023 election campaign. What's your take on that story?
For me, the worst position to be anywhere is
The vice president. True.
Vice of anything, deputy governor, vice chairman, even in a town union meeting, it's not good to be. Once you are a vice, you are like somebody whose hand are tied at the back. Any statement you make is being scrutinized. You must not show ambition. Understand? You must try to be as calm as possible, because anything they say, you want to become chairman, you want to become president. So it's not, for me, I prefer being an ordinary member than being a vice to anybody.
Well, we saw what happened to Yemi Osinbajo as vice
You
president
cannot
to
talk.
President Buhari, where Buhari was out of the country, was incapacitated, and Yemi Osinbajo stepping in and acting capacity of vice president.
He was
cost
accused
the whole-
of trying to outshine the
president. And
You
he
know-
was silent, the reminder of the tenure.
Robert Greene's 48 laws of power. Number 1, you can outshine outshine your master. So that is what is keeping whoever is a vice or a deputy in anything. You must not outshine your master.
Now, the word...
Even if you know, you must pretend not to know.
There was a time last year where rumors were all over the place that the president is planning to take Kashim Shettima out of the next, the next election, with rumors that the president is planning to go for a Christian president this time around. I mean, it was a heavy rumor at that time. There were even some undertone, some light rumors that he may be on, the terrorist list and all. There were so many conspiracy theory, at that time. But it looks like it's quieted down, and it has, and the president is. It looks like it trusts him now to continue the next 4 years
He
if
will
they
not
eventually
still
win.
make that list.
Do you think so?
He will still not make that list. Nigeria,
You think he won't be with the president in the next ballot?
he will not.
How so? Why?
The Nigeria of 2023 is not going to be Nigeria of 2027.
What's the difference?
Tinubu will not use Shettima as a vice.
So
As a vice and presidential candidate.
so you think the news of him going for a Christian vice president this time around, you think it's real
That's the best thing for him to do.
at this point in time?
They have not done their primary. Understand? They have not done their primary, and mind you, it is the president that appoints whoever will deputize him.
Yeah.
So the issue, Tinubu is there are a lot of things going on in the party, that the issue of who becomes vice principal, vice president
He's down the pecking order.
should not come up now.
Okay.
It should not come up now. It will create a more
Disunity.
crisis. But at the right time, he will do it.
Well, only time will tell if you're correct with that prediction. Well, we'll be here on VOP 90.3 FM to give you all the political news. Dr. Anosike, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
That was Peter Anosike, a current affairs analyst. He is an academic doctor with PhD in consulting and profit management from Brennan University, a state of Delaware, United States. He's the author of the book Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. And after stories outside Nigeria, a meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and visiting Russian President Vladimir Putin is underway in Beijing as the two countries signed and signaled a deepening partnership and warned against a global return to the lure of the jungle, end quote. The meeting kicked off with fanfare in the Chinese capital on Wednesday as Xi and Putin shook hands outside the Great Hall of the People after walking down a red carpet. A military band played with both the Chinese and Russian national anthems. In their opening remarks, the leaders emphasized strengthening ties and cooperation between Russia and China. Addressing Putin, Xi lauded the unyielding relationship between China and Russia. The Chinese leader also addressed the United States' Israel war on Iran, telling his Russian counterparts that further conflict was inadvisable and a ceasefire was necessary. Later on Wednesday, the Kremlin released a joint statement warning that there is a danger of fragmentation of the international community and a return to the quote law of the jungle. The past few weeks has been billed as a retribution tour for Donald Trump as he settles old scores with his critics within the Republican Party of the United States. The evidence is now overwhelming that the Republican Party is Trump's party and nothing. Not an unpopular war in Iran, not sagging poll numbers among the general public, not rising consumer prices, not concerned about billion-dollar White House ballrooms has changed that. Thomas Massey, the independent-minded congressman from Kentucky, was comfortably defeated on Tuesday in the Republican primary race to decide who goes forward to take on the Democrats in November's midterms. The Trump-backed candidate Ed Garin is heading towards a 55% share of the vote. Republican rebel Massey, a constant thorn on Trump's side, is just the latest in a political casualty count that is now stretching into double figures. His transgressions were multitude. He opposed Trump's tax and spending budget package last year because he said it drove up the federal deficit. He voted to curtail the president's military operations in Venezuela and Iran, and perhaps most notably, he was the driving force behind efforts in the House of Representatives to force the release of Justice Department file on Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier and sex offender with ties to the rich and powerful. And finally, on our sports news, Arsenal Football Club of England supporters across Nigeria erupted in celebration after the North London club secured their first Premier League title in 22 years. Videos shared on social media showed jubilant fans in cities including Lagos, Abuja, Benin, and Port Harcourt dancing in the street, waving Arsenal flags and setting off fireworks to mark the historic triumph. At popular viewing centers and sports bars, supporters sang club chants and embraced one another after Arsenal were confirmed as champions, ending a long wait since their famous Invincibles season of 2003-2004. The celebrations also drew reactions from several Nigerian celebrities. Singer Chike joined in the excitement, while comedian Remote shared his delight over the title win. Musicians Fowles and Seun Kuti also celebrated Arsenal's long-awaited success. Popular cleric Pastor Dolapo also joined in the celebrations, offering an apology after previously predicted that Arsenal would not win the league. Many fans described the victory as a reward for years of loyalty and heartbreak, having stood by the club through several years and several near misses and disappointing campaigns. Social media platforms were flooded with congratulatory messages from football enthusiasts and supporters groups, with many sharing videos of emotional reactions and all-night celebrations. Arsenal, managed by Mikel Arteta, remained one of the most widely supported English clubs in Nigeria, boasting a large and passionate fan base. Just before we go here again, are the top stories. United Nations speaks out about terrorist attacks on schools in Nigeria. For the third time in few days, Nigeria-US joint strikes ISIS terrorists, killing 175. APC governorship aspirants shown consensus deal in 10 states with over 60 Fubara allies disqualified. Vice President Kashim Shettima opens up on accusation of plotting to kill Tinubu to become president. Outside Nigeria, China's Xi Jinping and Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin hold talks in Beijing. And the sports news, Arsenal fans in Nigeria celebrate first EPL trophy in 22 years. And that's the world news at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I am Solomon Ofem. Do follow our social media handles at VOP903 FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903 FM. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.